U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee describes Israel's war in Gaza as a battle between heaven and hell. He tells CBN News that countries supporting the creation of a Palestinian state are only helping Hamas.
The ambassador's statements come as Israel declares it's made great progress against Hamas. Paul Petit has the story.
The IDF says it now controls up to 40% of Gaza City even before its main offensive. The battle is key to destroying the last remaining Hamas stronghold in the Gaza Strip. All this as a pivotal United Nations meeting is about to take place. We sat down with Mike Huckabee, United States Ambassador to Israel.
Ambassador Huckabee, appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you, Paul. Great to have you in Israel.
So as we speak, IDF soldiers are continuing their momentum moving into Gaza. We haven't heard any response regarding the Hamas offer to free the hostages. Is that the right move right now? And if so, why?
It's what the president has been pushing for and saying. It's what Israel has been pushing for. But I don't know that they have much of a choice, because Hamas will walk up to the table and pretend they're going to make some type of deal that would let the hostages go, and then they always walk away, and then they add new conditions. I think people have to understand the reason this has gone on like it has, as long as it has, with as much suffering as it has. It's not because of Israel, it's because of Hamas.
Do you think perhaps Hamas is buying time, knowing that later this month the UN General Assembly will meet? Some countries, UK, as well as Belgium and Canada, will, if they follow through on it, declare a sovereign state?
It could be. I think without a doubt, when these European countries started saying they were going to unilaterally declare a Palestinian state, Hamas walked away from all the negotiations that had been going on. They wanted a Palestinian state. Now they might get one for free.
How does that muddy the waters then, if in fact they're declared a sovereign state?
It was the most insane thing when the European countries did this. First of all, it's a violation of the Oslo Accords. So that's a problem. They can't declare a Palestinian state. They just can't do that. And they also, they haven't defined where the boundaries are, who would lead it, how it would all work out. So it is an exercise in futility.
The president said that Israel has, quote, is not winning the war of public opinion. There's a PR problem going on now in the United States, well, across the globe. How does that get countered? How do you fix that?
It's a challenge for Israel because the monolithic media is so against them. It's partly because the leftist slant of the media. Now, they've got a lot of people complicit with them. United Nations, who puts out whatever they say through the, quote, Gaza Health Ministry, that's Hamas.
If you were the PR consultant for them, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them to get a bunch of social media influencers, because the real problem is with Generation Z. You know,
most people view this as a battle between Hamas and Israel. There's something much deeper going on. How do you see it?
This is a battle of the ages. This is not horizontal. It's not left, right, liberal, conservative. This is a vertical battle. It's heaven versus hell. It's good versus evil. People need to see it in that context or they'll miss the whole thing. Where does that come from? It doesn't come just from socio-political or economic pressures. It comes from an evil that originates from the most demonic forces that have ever been unleashed on this earth. And that's why I feel like particularly Christian believers in the United States and across the world need to recognize it.
Ambassador Huckabee, thanks so much for taking the time for us today.
Paul, thank you. Great to have you here.
And let me echo that. The face of evil was evident on October 7th. What they did was pure evil. If you can imagine roasting a baby in an oven, that's what they did. They mutilated women. It was absolutely horrific what happened on October 7th. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget the face of that evil. Let's also not forget that the goal of Hamas isn't creating a Palestinian state. If that were their goal, that could have been achieved long ago. President Clinton has been very vocal in the past few months about exactly what happened in his negotiations, where he gave Yasser Arafat everything he asked for. He gave them a proposal and forced Israel to agree to it. And at the end of all of that, Arafat refused it. Now, why did he refuse it? He refused it because he knew he would be killed for making peace with Israel, for allowing a world to go forward with the nation of Israel still on the map. That's the goal of Hamas, to wipe Israel off the map. And when they say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, that means it's free of Israel. They're not ever talking about a Palestinian state occupying anything. They're talking about the elimination of Israel. Let's always remember that. This is a battle for the right of the Jewish people to have the ancestral homeland of the Jewish people. They were in exile for 2,000 years. It's been a modern-day miracle to see the establishment of the modern state of Israel. And as Christians, we need to stand with Israel.